So we would like to welcome all of you. Thank you for joining us for the University of Pennsylvania's English language programs. We're going to do a virtual sample class today. So you could go to the next slide. So what we would like to do in our time together, we're going to introduce you to the University of Pennsylvania, talk about the English language programs, and then we're going to talk about our summer programs, especially our remote summer programs, followed by a sample lesson, and we'll have some time for question and answer. But before we get started, perhaps I should introduce you to myself and some of my colleagues. My name is Robin Turner, and I'm a programs manager here at the University of Pennsylvania. And I'm very delighted to have some people who woke up early with me today. So we have Rachel Gonzalez, who's a language specialist.
Hello, everyone.
We have Lisa Taglang, who's also a programs manager.
Hi, everybody.
And joining us for our sample lesson today, our instructor of the day is Eve Litt.
Hello.
And Eula Cutton, we would be nowhere without our technology specialist. So she's joining us here and on Facebook Live.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are very excited. How about if we get started and talk about who we are at the University of Pennsylvania? So some of you may know that we at the University of Pennsylvania are one of the top universities in the United States. We are part of the Ivy League. And so that means that we have a very, very large amount of students from all over the world. We represent a lot of different departments. So the University of Pennsylvania is a wonderful place to learn and engage with learners. As part of the University of Pennsylvania, we represent the English language programs. And the English language programs is divided into many different types of learning situations. For example, our intensive program is year-round. So this is something where students come and join us for developing their academic language skills, business language skills, or just general English skills. For the short programs, which is where we're going to focus today, these are 3-week shorter programs which help students engage with the University of Pennsylvania and academic English in general, but in a much shorter 3-week version. So let's talk about what those are. The first one that I'd like to introduce is our English for Leadership and Innovation program. This is what we call ELI. This is a 3-week program that is going to be running in the summer. As you can see on the screen, we have program dates offered in July and August. And these are for people who are between intermediate to advanced level. There will be 15 hours per week of instruction in live synchronous meetings. And then there's also 10 hours per week approximately for online learning. Some additional activities like conversation hours and also guest lectures from Penn faculty. So the program does feature a daily 1-hour class meeting, and that would be offered through Zoom. The program focus is to develop and practice academic speaking skills. So we do a lot of discussions and presentations in their daily meetings. The content areas are related to leadership and management and team building. And then we also focus on mobile technology, robotics, and nanotechnology. Our other program that we will be running in the summer is called English for Business Communication. This is also, we refer to it as EBC. And similarly to Leadership and Innovation, the program dates are exactly the same. It's 3 weeks and it's running in July and also again in August. So these will also be focused for intermediate to advanced level speakers. Again, it's 15 hours per week total with additional activities and guest lectures. The daily 1 hour class meetings are same thing. And we will also have 2 hours per day of independent learning. This is approximate. For some learners, they move a little faster. Some learners take a little bit more time, and either way is fine in the asynchronous learning. The program focus for English for Business Communication is more about enhancing persuasive speaking skills. And the focus is also on entrepreneurship. So, what this means is that you would work together in teams to develop a product and then conduct market research and present your business plan to sell that product. It is a very team-oriented program, and a lot of your time will be spent working together with other classmates in developing your English skills and also working on a project. Okay, so at this point, maybe we could go to the next slide. Yeah, so both of these programs feature a course website that has, and we use something called Canvas. And what we do in Canvas is that all of the digital course materials are located in one place. This is where instructors and students communicate with each other directly through an inbox and also announcements. Each unit is divided into organized readings, videos, quizzes, discussion boards. All of your graded assignments would be here. This is where you would upload recorded presentations and speaking assignments. So everything is located in one place for convenience. As far as extracurricular activities go, we do have guest lectures with Penn faculty. Some of our previous faculty members who have presented with us are from Wharton, from the engineering school, from the School of Design. So they come and they share their additional knowledge that's related to the course content. We also offer an opportunity for people to join conversation chats with other ELP students in the intensive program or any other program, and sometimes staff join as well. It's a great opportunity to practice your English outside of our daily class meeting. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn it over to Eve, who's going to take us through a sample lesson from the English for Business Communication program.
Thank you, Robin. Welcome. We are going to talk about a concept that we cover in EBC, so that's English for Business Communication. And a little bit of background, as Robin said, a main component of this program is what we call team-based product development. And what that means is that students work in creative teams to come up with an idea for a good or service, and then edit and refine that idea based on research about what people want to buy or what products already exist. All of this is similar to the ways that entrepreneurs develop a new product. And entrepreneurs are people who have ideas for new products to sell. That's a little bit of the background. So one thing that we have to consider in the beginning of this program, EBC, is target markets. And a target market is who might want to buy your product and why. And so a market is a group of people interested in purchasing a product, but a target market is a specific group of people. So let's consider an example, shoes. Most people wear shoes. There must be thousands, if not millions, of variations on this single product. Let's take a look at a few. So as you can see, all of these are shoes. But how can we find the differences between the people or the markets that might buy these shoes? Maybe we look at age. Maybe we look at price. Maybe we might look at somebody's job or role in society or the purpose of the product. For example, I'm going to ask you to use the chat here to participate. So I would love to see your ideas here. Let's take a look at which shoe do you think might appeal to somebody who spends a lot of time outside in cold weather? So which of these shoes do you think might be good for cold weather?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of 2, right? I'm in Philadelphia right now. I hear it might snow today. I am definitely not putting on shoe number 5. I think shoe number 2 is a great choice here. So let's try to narrow the market for a different shoe. How about shoe number 1? Where do you think this person is going, the person who's wearing shoe number 1? Do you think they're going to an exercise class? Yeah, I agree. I think shoe number 1 is more of like a business shoe, right? This is going to work if you're working in an office setting where you have to dress up at least a little bit, right? How about shoe number 3? What do we think a person in the target market for shoe number 3, what are they doing? Where are they going? Yeah, I wonder how many I see gardening, and I agree that these are. Why do you think gardening is a good purpose for this shoe? Definitely because they're comfortable, right? Maybe people who work on their feet like nurses, they're easily washable. Absolutely. So we're already narrowing the target market for shoe number 3. How about shoe number 4? Who do we think might wear shoe number 4? Absolutely. So we can narrow a target market or define a target market based on trends, and hippies might fit the bill here for number 4. People going to a beach, good for walking. So somebody in a warmer climate, right? So the same person might own shoe number 4 and shoe number 2, but they're wearing them at different times of year, right? They're wearing them in different climates. So we have 2 shoes left. Which shoe do you think is probably oriented or geared more towards kids? 5 or 6? Yeah, maybe not 5. 6 look so much fun. I wish I could own 6. I don't think they come in my size because I think they're only meant for kids. So we can see with this one product how we're already starting to narrow this down to specific markets. Great job with that. So now in this program, in EBC, students are working in teams to develop a product for the college market. So the college market is a specific target market, right? But if you think about it, a college campus has lots of different types of people on campus, not just students. And even within students, there are many different types of students. So let's think, for example, if you live on a college campus, if you live in a dormitory, right, the products that you might buy to prepare for your studies are probably going to be different than a university student who lives at home and commutes. Those are going to be 2 different markets within the college market. So let's break this down a little further. So I want to brainstorm with you right now. Again, we can use the chat. What other target markets can you imagine that exist on a college campus? So we can narrow people down by whether they live or commute to campus. But remember, it's not just students. And even within students, there are many different types of students. So think about the people who are buying products on a college campus. Let's think about some examples. I gave you some pictures to try to help. Yeah, exactly. So people who work, including teachers and professors, people who work in offices, right? So those are going to be very different shoes. Student athletes are going to be wearing very different shoes as well. Researchers, great example of a target market. People who are cleaning. This is really important, especially now in this time that we're making sure everything is safe to go back into campus. So cleaners are people who work on their feet. We might want to think about specific products for that market. Security guards, again, a great example of another job where people are on their feet. Doctoral students, professors, dining workers. Absolutely. So doctoral students is a great example of a specific student, right? The products that you might sell to a freshman are going to be different than the products that a doctoral student might be interested in buying. Great job with this. So once we start thinking like entrepreneurs, like thinking specifically and strategically, we can create products, we can create new details for our products like price and marketing strategy, and how we'll deliver the product to the consumer. So these are the types of things we do in EBC. So projects in this program include interpreting marketing research, delivering an elevator pitch, creating a crowdfunding campaign, and creating a website with a business proposal. And again, all of that is team-based. So we're hoping to really give opportunities to develop fluency and give opportunities for students to interact with our instructors, but also each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve. That was very informative, and thank you for telling us a lot about target markets. So one of the things that we would like to just go ahead and show you, we have a couple past students who have talked about what they gained by joining ELP programs. And as you can see from this list, a lot of people felt that they were able to develop their English language skills to help them further their academic goals. And that's really a lot of what we try to do in our remote programs, especially the short programs in addition to the intensive programs. We try to help students to prepare for further study or for their work experience, wherever it takes them after they leave us at ELP. So at this point, would you like to go to the next one? Okay, so now we have a few questions that we would like to have some others answer. But if you have any questions for us, particularly about the English for Business communication or English for Leadership and Innovation program, please feel free to add those questions in the chat. Okay, and so we would also like to invite our friends on Facebook. You can also, yes, please, Rachel. Okay, so we have a short poll that if those joining us would be willing to go ahead and answer, just to give us a little bit more information about yourself. Right. And one of the other features of our short programs is that we create these daily class meetings in which students can interact with each other every day. But what we find is that once the course ends, students continue to meet with each other and to chat in other ways. So you're not only practicing English and you're working on your English skills, but people connect with a community of other learners to continue that practice. And this is very valuable in this remote situation. Okay. All right, so we have just a couple questions. Okay. All right, so we're getting some responses. All right. So we're hopeful that we can eventually come back to in-person classes, but for the time being, we are still offering remote only. So this is it's a temporary program that will probably also continue long after we are back on campus, because now we are discovering that having both the opportunity to create an online community through these programs and also on campus in-person community, we're starting to see that there's great value in both.
Robin, one of our participants is asking whether ELI and EBC are the only programs we're going to be offering this summer at the ELP.
No, that's a great question. We will also be offering our intensive program in the summer. The intensive program is all year. It runs 6 times a year at the English language programs. That one is 7 weeks long. The short programs are offered in summer and winter, and possibly going into the fall as well. Okay, but that is a great question. For anybody interested in learning more about all of our programs, we highly suggest checking out our website, which I think is on the next slide. There we go. Okay, so all of the most current and up-to-date information can be found here at our website. And you would also, if you go to our website, you will be able to find out how to enroll in the programs. Enrollment is directly through our website, that it would take you to Penn's online learning platform. And that's where you would create an account and you would enroll directly through there. Okay, great. Well, thank you for those who have answered our poll and giving us some more information about yourselves. Okay. All right. So we're gonna stick around for a couple more minutes and answer any questions that anyone has about the program.
Robin, we have a question. Someone's asking if the intensive program will also be delivered online. I think the person means for the summer.
I believe at this point we are unsure exactly. We don't know precisely what is going to happen for summer. For the spring, we are definitely still online. So we are still waiting for information about returning to campus for the intensive program.
And Robin, I would also add that our University Connection program, which helps students prepare to apply to universities in the United States, always runs. So that will be running in the summer as well, and runs all year and is part of our intensive program. And for that, we also don't know whether it will be online or in person over the summer.
Okay. This is a good question coming in about when will we decide to cancel on-campus program for summer. Unfortunately, we don't get to make that decision. That is on the part of the university, as they are probably going to make that decision, I would think, sometime later in the spring, possibly in April. I think we would know for sure maybe then. Whenever we get news about anything impacting live on-campus delivery, we immediately put that information on our website, and we do communicate with partner universities. Okay. So Lisa, could you tell us just a little bit about how the Unicon program works? You said that it is part of the intensive program.
Sure. Yeah, so we use the term Unicon to refer to our University Connection program. And Unicon is a program in which while you're improving your English language skills, you can also be getting support from our experts on applying to universities in the United States. So you can be a Unicon student if you're applying to undergraduate or bachelor's degree programs in the United States, or if you're applying to master's degree programs or PhD programs in the United States. And Unicon helps you with those applications. So every week we have workshops that help give you information about how to apply to US universities, how to write good application essays or personal statements, how to write a good resume, how to complete different university applications and things like that. And then you have the opportunity every week, if you want to meet one-on-one with one of our college counselors. So you sign up for a meeting, it's 30 minutes, and you get undivided attention one-on-one from a counselor who answers any questions you have about your university applications, who will look at your application essay or your personal statement and give you feedback, who will look at your resume and give you feedback, who will help you choose which schools might be a good fit for you and good schools for you to apply to. So anything you need, we can help you with. We also have a program called Unicon Plus that you can enroll in if you want, as part of your course schedule, to prepare for a standardized test like the SAT, the GRE, or the GMAT, or any other standardized tests that you have to take in order to apply to a US university as part of your process.
Excellent. Thank you, Lisa. All right. So I think we're going to probably wind down. I think at this point, if anyone has any more questions, you can feel free to ask. We are recording our webinar and we will post this to our website after we are finished. So if you would like to share the video with anyone, or if you want to review the information again, you can always go to our website to see. Okay. We do have a question about our IAS and IBC. Yes, that is correct. Kiki is asking if our Institute for Academic Studies and Institute for Business Communication will run normally this summer. We would like to say yes, but we simply do not know yet if that is the possibility. And it is highly unlikely because if we still don't know any on-campus English language programs at this point. But we are hopeful that that we will get good news in this later in the spring. For now, we are proposing that we will definitely be running our remote programs, no matter if we are on campus or not. So that is something that we will guarantee that we are running in the summer. Okay. Okay. Well, if we don't have any more questions, thank you for joining us. Those who are joining on Facebook, thanks for joining in. And those who came to the webinar, thank you for your questions and your participation. And we hope you have a wonderful day or evening wherever you are. Okay. Thank you.